I was staring at my phone when my entire life got stolen. 3 text messages. All from people I barely knew anymore. Neighbors from the street where I grew up. Did you really sell? Wow, that was fast. Guess everyone's cashing out these days. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud in my office in Connecticut, because what else do you do when people ask about something that never happened? I hadn't sold anything. Then my email refreshed, and I saw it, closing confirmation, congratulations on your sale. My hands went cold. The house on Willow Lane wasn't just any property. It was my grandmother's place. The white colonial with the maple tree out front that dropped those little helicopter seeds every fall. She left it to me, specifically to me, in her will 6 months ago. Not to my mom. Not to my sister Lauren. To me. Because I was the one who spent summer scraping old paint off the porch railings. The one who sat with her on Sunday afternoons while she told stories about growing up during the war. The one who promised, actually promised, that I'd keep it in the family. The will was clear. The lawyer read it out loud at the kitchen table. To my granddaughter, the house and property located at 47 Willow Lane. I called my mom. She picked up on the third ring, and her voice was light. Almost cheerful. Oh, sweetie, she said, like she was telling me she'd picked up my dry cleaning. I was going to call you about that. About what? The house. We had to make a decision. We. That word sat in my chest like a stone. What decision? I kept my voice steady. Professional. The way I talk to clients who are about to tell me something I won't like. Well, the market's really good right now, and your sister's been having a hard time, and the house was just sitting there empty anyway. She paused. Family helps family, right? I didn't say anything. Lauren needed this, she continued. You know how she is. And you're always so capable. You'll be fine. I hung up. Then I got in my car and drove 2 hours back to New Jersey, because capable people don't cry on the phone. They wait until they're standing in front of the thing they lost. Have you ever had someone take something from you and act like they did you a favor? The for sale sign was already gone when I pulled up. I sat in my car across the street, engine off, watching the house like it might disappear if I blinked. The porch light was on. New curtains in the windows. Everything looked different. Cleaner. Staged. I tried my key. It didn't work. Someone had changed the locks. On my house. The house my grandmother left me. Through the front window, I could see furniture I didn't recognize. A gray couch. Throw pillows arranged in perfect triangles. A bowl of fake lemons on the coffee table. Who puts fake lemons in a bowl? None of it looked like Grandma's place. None of it looked like home. I called my mom again. No answer. I called Lauren. Straight to voicemail. So I did what any rational person does at midnight when their family commits theft. I started scrolling through my sister's social media. The first photo was from 3 days ago. Lauren at some rooftop bar in Manhattan, holding a cocktail with an orange slice, caption, finally treating myself. Next photo, shopping bags. Multiple shopping bags. Bloomingdale's. Saks. That boutique on Fifth Avenue where a scarf costs $300. Then a hotel lobby. Marble floors. Gold fixtures. Weekend reset in Soho, the caption said, with a heart emoji. I zoomed in on one photo. Her wrist. New watch. The kind that doesn't tell time as much as it announces you have money. This was the hard time my mother mentioned. This was the struggle that required selling my inheritance. I took screenshots. Every single one. Then I found the receipts. Because Lauren, bless her heart, loves to brag. She'd posted a close-up of a Macy's receipt, one of those Instagram stories where people show off their haul. The receipt was so long it didn't fit in one photo. Shoes. Handbags. Perfume. A cashmere coat. The total at the bottom, $4,200. My grandmother's house, the one she saved for, the one she maintained through 40 years of New Jersey winters, had been converted into designer boots and spa treatments before I even knew it was gone. I sat in that car until sunrise. When my mom finally showed up in her driveway the next morning, I was waiting. She looked surprised to see me. Not guilty. Not embarrassed. Just surprised. Your sister needed this, she said again, crossing her arms. You don't understand what she's been going through. Show me, I said. What? Show me what she's been going through. Show me the emergency. The crisis. The thing that was so urgent you had to sell my house without telling me. My mom looked away. You'll land on your feet, she said quietly. You always do. That's when I called the lawyer. The lawyer's name was Carter Rhodes. My grandmother trusted him for 30 years. He handled her will, her taxes, every legal document she ever signed. I hadn't heard from him since the funeral. That should have been my first warning sign. He answered on the second ring. I was wondering when you'd call, he said. Not hello. Not how are you. Just that. You knew, I said. I knew something was wrong. His voice was careful. Measured. But I needed to be certain before I said anything. I was sitting in a coffee shop parking lot, phone pressed to my ear, watching people walk by with their normal problems. Spilled coffee. Traffic. Things that mattered yesterday. They sold my house, I told him. My mother and my sister. They sold it, changed the locks, and spent the money on shopping trips. I need you to tell me exactly what happened, Carter said. Everything. From the beginning. So I did. I told him about the text messages. The closing confirmation I never authorized. My mother's casual phone call, like she was returning a library book. Lauren's social media posts, the hotels, the restaurants, the receipts that added up to more than most people make in months. She posted a photo from California yesterday, I said. Sunset drinks at some beach club. The caption said, finally living my truth. Carter was quiet for a long moment. Your mother couldn't legally sell that house, he finally said. I actually laughed. A sharp, ugly sound. Well, someone did. I saw the paperwork. I saw the staging furniture. There are new people scheduled to move in next week. Listen to me very carefully, Carter said, and something in his tone made me stop. Made me pay attention. Your grandmother didn't just leave you that house. She protected it. What does that mean? It means she knew your family better than they knew themselves. He explained it slowly, like he was worried I might miss something important. The house wasn't just willed to me. Grandma had placed it in a protective trust. A legal structure designed to prevent exactly this kind of situation. The trust didn't release full ownership until I turned 35. I was 32. Any sale, any transfer, any mortgage, any legal action involving that property required two things, my signature and the trustee's approval. Neither had happened. So the sale isn't valid, I said. The sale is fraud, Carter corrected. And I need 48 hours to prove it. 48 hours for what? To find out who really bought your house, he said. Because something tells me this goes deeper than a shopping spree. He hung up before I could ask what he meant. I sat in that parking lot for 20 minutes, watching my phone, watching Lauren's stories update with another sunset photo. She had no idea what was coming. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I went through every document Grandma left behind. The will. The trust paperwork. Letters she'd written me over the years. There was one I'd forgotten about. Dated 3 months before she died. You're going to need to be strong, it said. Not the kind of strong people see. The quiet kind. The kind that waits. At the time, I thought she was talking about grief. Now I wasn't so sure. The trust document was 12 pages long. Legal language that took me an hour to fully understand. But the core was simple. Grandma had structured everything so that nobody, not my mother, not Lauren, not even a court, could touch that house until I was ready. 35 wasn't random. That's when she'd bought her first house. When she'd finally felt secure enough to build something permanent. She wanted that for me. And she knew, somehow she knew, that my family would try to take it. I found myself reading one section over and over. In the event of unauthorized transfer, sale, or encumbrance of the property, the trustee is authorized to pursue all legal remedies, including but not limited to reversal of sale, monetary damages, and criminal referral. Criminal referral. My mother could go to jail for this. The thought should have made me feel something. Guilt, maybe. Hesitation. It didn't. My phone buzzed. Carter. I need you to sit down, he said. I'm already sitting. Then hold on to something. He'd spent the last 6 hours tracing the sale. The buyers, the paperwork, the money trail. Everything led to a shell company. An LLC registered in Delaware with a generic name, Parkview Holdings Group. Shell companies aren't illegal, I said. People use them all the time. They do, Carter agreed. But this one made a mistake. The funds for the purchase, all $340,000, came from a private account in Massachusetts. An account opened 4 months ago. Right after Grandma's funeral. The account holder's name was on file with the bank. Who? I asked, even though some part of me already knew. Your sister, Carter said. Lauren opened it the week after the will was read. The room tilted. Not my mother making a careless decision. Not a family mistake that got out of hand. This was planned. Lauren had set up a company. Opened a secret account. Convinced our mother to forge documents. Bought the house herself through a shell corporation so she could flip it, sell it to real buyers, and walk away with double the money. She'd gambled that I'd be too nice, too accommodating, too capable to fight back. There's more, Carter said quietly. More? The paperwork your mother signed. The deed transfer. Someone had to notarize it. And? The notary is your mother's sister. Your Aunt Linda. My aunt. The one who always said family should stick together. The one who lectured me about forgiveness at Thanksgiving. She'd notarized a fraud. This wasn't just my mother and sister anymore. This was a conspiracy. What do we do? I asked. Carter's voice turned cold. Professional. We give them 48 hours, he said. And then we take everything. Carter filed the emergency injunction at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. By 9:15, the legal notices were sent. Certified mail. Email. Even a courier to my mother's front door. The subject line was simple: cease and desist, 48 hours to cure fraudulent sale. I wasn't there when my mother opened it. But her neighbor, the one who'd texted me about the sale, called me that afternoon. Your mom's been on the phone all morning, she said. I've never seen her look like that. Like what? Scared. Good, I thought. She should be. The first 24 hours moved like syrup. Every minute stretched. I kept checking my phone, refreshing my email, waiting for something to happen. Lauren's social media stayed active. A photo of her feet in the sand. Another cocktail. A caption about grateful for new beginnings. She had no idea her beginning was about to end. I wanted to call her. Wanted to ask how she could smile for those photos knowing what she'd done. But Carter had been clear: no contact. Let the lawyers talk. Let the system work. So I waited. Hour 30. Hour 31. Hour 32. My mother tried calling. 6 times. I didn't answer. She left one voicemail. We need to talk about this, her voice said, shaky now, nothing like the casual tone from before. This is getting out of hand. Call me back. Please. I deleted it. At hour 36, something shifted. A moving truck appeared at the house on Willow Lane. I was parked down the street, watching. The truck idled in the driveway for 10 minutes. Then a man in a suit showed up. He talked to the movers. Showed them something on his phone. The movers got back in the truck and left. No furniture unloaded. No boxes carried inside. The buyers, whoever they were, had just backed out. My phone rang. Carter. The buyers are threatening to sue, he said, and I could hear the satisfaction in his voice. They just found out the sale was never legal. Their lawyers already filed for return of earnest money. How much? $30,000. I did the math in my head. Lauren had already spent at least $15,000 on her shopping spree. Maybe more. If she had to return the buyer's deposit and reverse the entire sale. She doesn't have the money anymore, does she? I said. No, Carter replied. She doesn't. That night, Lauren's social media went quiet. No sunset photos. No cocktails. Nothing. At hour 42, my Aunt Linda called. I answered this time. You need to stop this, she said immediately. No hello. No apology for notarizing fraud. You're tearing this family apart. I didn't tear anything, I said calmly. I'm just putting it back together the way it was supposed to be. Your mother made a mistake. My mother committed a crime. You helped her. Silence. Linda, I continued, you notarized a deed transfer without my signature. That's not a mistake. That's a felony. I didn't know. You knew enough. She hung up. Hour 47 came faster than I expected. I was sitting in my apartment when Carter called one last time before the deadline. They have a choice, he said. Reverse everything, the sale, the transfers, every dollar, and walk away. Or we proceed with criminal referrals and civil damages. What do you think they'll do? He laughed quietly. People who steal from family always think they'll get away with it. And when they don't? That's when things get interesting. I drove to my mother's house. Not to go inside. Just to watch. At hour 47 and 30 minutes, the front door opened. My mother stepped onto the porch. Her face was pale. Her hand shook as she held her phone. Behind her, through the window, I could see Lauren pacing. Yelling something I couldn't hear. The clock ticked down. 47 hours and 59 minutes. Then 0. The thing about legal deadlines is they're not suggestions. When that 48-hour mark hit, everything Carter had prepared went into motion automatically. Court filings. Injunctions. Formal complaints to the state attorney general's office. My phone buzzed with a text from him, it's done. No turning back now. I was still parked across from my mother's house when Lauren came outside. She was screaming. Actually screaming at my mother on the front lawn where the whole neighborhood could hear. You said this would work. Lauren's voice carried across the street. You said she wouldn't fight back. My mother tried to quiet her, reaching for her arm, but Lauren yanked away. Do you know how much money I put into this? Do you have any idea what happens if they? She stopped mid-sentence when she saw my car. Our eyes met across the distance. I didn't wave. Didn't smile. Just looked at her the way you'd look at a stranger who'd taken something that wasn't theirs. She went back inside and slammed the door. 20 minutes later, Carter called. I need to show you something, he said. Can you come to my office? When I got there, he had documents spread across his conference table. Bank statements. Corporate filings. Email printouts. Your sister's been planning this for 6 months, he said, pointing to a timeline he'd constructed. Look at the dates. The LLC, Parkview Holdings, was registered 3 weeks after Grandma's funeral. Lauren had opened the Massachusetts account the same week. She'd applied for a business loan 2 weeks after that. She tried to get financing? I asked. She needed more money than the house was worth, Carter explained. She wanted to buy it, hold it for 6 months, then sell it for a profit when the market peaked. The loan application listed her projected profit at $180,000. My grandmother's house. The place where I'd learned to ride a bike, where I'd hidden during thunderstorms, where Grandma taught me how to make her apple pie every Thanksgiving. Lauren had seen it as inventory. How did she convince Mom? I asked. Carter pulled out another document. An email chain. I recognized my mother's email address immediately. The first message was from Lauren. Mom, I found a way to help us both. The house is just sitting there. We could sell it, split the money, and nobody gets hurt. My mother's response, but the will says it goes to your sister. Lauren's reply, the will says a lot of things. But we're family. Family takes care of each other. Besides, she doesn't need it. She has a good job, her own apartment. This could change my life. 3 days later, my mother wrote back, what do we need to do? I read through the chain twice. Watching my mother get convinced. Watching Lauren manipulate every insecurity, every guilt point, every family obligation. The final email was dated 2 weeks before the sale. I set up the company. Aunt Linda said she'd help with the paperwork. We just need to move fast before anyone asks questions. They knew it was wrong, I said quietly. They knew, and they did it anyway. Carter nodded. The question is what you want to do now. What are my options? Legally, we can pursue criminal charges. Fraud. Forgery. Conspiracy. Your mother, your sister, and your aunt could all face jail time. He paused. Or we can offer them a way out. What kind of way out? They return everything. Every dollar from the sale, every dollar your sister spent, plus damages. They sign away any future claim to the property. And they admit, in writing, what they did. I thought about my mother on that porch, pale and shaking. I thought about Lauren's photos from California, the cocktails and sunsets and carefree smiles. I thought about my grandmother's letter, you're going to need to be strong. The quiet kind. The kind that waits. I'd waited long enough. Give them the offer, I said. But make it clear, this is their only chance. Carter picked up his phone. I'll send it now. And if they refuse? He looked at me with something that might have been respect. Then we make sure everyone knows exactly what they did. The offer went out at 3 p.m. By 3:30, my phone started ringing. First my mother. Then my aunt. Then numbers I didn't recognize, probably relatives who'd heard the news through the family network. I didn't answer any of them. Carter had been clear, let them panic. Let them realize the walls were closing in. People make better decisions when they understand they're out of options. At 4 p.m., my cousin, Linda's daughter, sent me a Facebook message, please don't do this. My mom made a mistake. She's sick over it. I didn't respond. By evening, the neighborhood knew. I found out later that one of my mother's friends had seen the legal documents when she stopped by. By the next morning, 3 different people had texted me asking if the rumors were true. Did your family really steal your house? I didn't confirm or deny anything. But I didn't need to. The truth was spreading on its own. Lauren's social media stayed dark. No more sunset photos. No more cocktails. Her last post, the one about living my truth, had comments now. Is it true what people are saying? Girl, you okay? Someone said your family's in legal trouble? She'd deleted the post by midnight. Carter called the next morning. Your mother wants to meet. No. She says she'll agree to the terms. She just wants to talk to you first. The terms aren't negotiable, I said. And I don't have anything to say to her. She's claiming she didn't understand what Lauren was doing. That she thought it was a family decision. I laughed. Actually laughed. She signed the papers, Carter. She changed the locks. She looked me in the eye and told me I'd be fine. I know, he said quietly. I'm just telling you what she's saying. At hour 26 of the countdown, something changed. A car pulled up to my mother's house. Not a car I recognized. Two people got out, a man and a woman, both in business clothes. They knocked on the door. My mother let them in. They stayed for 40 minutes. When they left, my mother looked smaller somehow. Defeated. I texted Carter, who were those people? His response came fast, lawyers. Your mother just hired representation. That meant she was taking this seriously. That meant she understood she might actually face charges. Good. At hour 35, my Aunt Linda sent me an email. The subject line, please read. I almost deleted it. But something made me open it. I know you're angry. You have every right to be. But your mother is falling apart. She hasn't slept in 3 days. She's not eating. This is killing her. Lauren won't talk to anyone. She locked herself in her apartment and won't answer the door. I made a terrible mistake. I should have asked more questions. I should have verified everything. But I trusted your mother when she said this was okay. Please. There has to be another way. I forwarded it to Carter without responding. His reply, they're realizing they can't win. The question is whether they'll accept defeat gracefully or burn everything down trying to fight. Hour 43. Then 45. Then 47. I was sitting in my apartment when my phone rang one more time. Unknown number. I answered. This is Lauren, my sister's voice said. Small. Broken. Nothing like the confident tone from her social media posts. We need to talk. No, I said. We don't. Please. I can explain. The deadline is in 1 hour, I interrupted. Accept the terms or don't. But don't call me again. I hung up. 59 minutes left. At 57 minutes, Carter called. They're signing, he said. I didn't feel relief. Didn't feel victory. Just a strange emptiness where anger used to be. All of them? Your mother and aunt, yes. Lauren's lawyer is stalling, but she doesn't have a choice. Without her signature, the criminal referrals go forward automatically. I could hear papers shuffling on his end. The click of a pen. They're agreeing to full restitution, Carter continued. Every dollar from the sale. Every dollar spent. Plus $15,000 in damages for legal fees and emotional distress. How much does Lauren have left? About $40,000. She'll have to liquidate everything. The watch, the bags, probably her car. Your mother's covering the rest from her retirement account. Her retirement. The money she'd been saving for 20 years. I should have felt guilty about that. I didn't. There's one more thing, Carter said carefully. They're asking if you'll meet with them. After everything's finalized. Your mother wants to. No. You should hear. I don't need to hear anything, I said. They made their choices. Now they live with them. Silence on the other end. Understood, Carter finally said. I'll let them know. At the 59-minute mark, the signed documents came through. Electronic signatures, timestamped, legally binding. My mother's signature looked shaky. Like her hand had been trembling. Lauren's was barely legible. The house was mine again. Officially. Legally. Permanently. I drove to Willow Lane that afternoon. The staged furniture was gone, the buyers had already reclaimed it. The house stood empty again, quiet, waiting. I used my new key. Carter had the locks changed that morning, and stepped inside. It smelled different. Like cleaning products and fresh paint. Someone had tried to erase my grandmother from these walls. But she was still here. In the creak of the floorboards. In the way afternoon light hit the kitchen window. In the pencil marks on the doorframe where she'd measured my height every summer. I found myself standing in her bedroom, looking out at the maple tree. My phone buzzed. A text from my mother, "I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything. But I need you to know." I stared at it for a long time. Then I blocked her number. Another text came through. "Lauren, this time, from a number I didn't recognize, you destroyed our family. I hope you're happy." I blocked that one too. Because here's what they didn't understand, I didn't destroy anything. They did that themselves the moment they decided I was too capable to need what was mine. Too understanding to fight back. Too family-oriented to pursue justice. They'd mistaken kindness for weakness. And that mistake cost them everything. I walked through each room slowly. The living room where Grandma taught me to play chess. The kitchen where we'd baked every holiday. The porch where she'd told me about patience, about waiting, about being the kind of strong that doesn't announce itself. She'd known this would happen. Not the specifics, maybe. But the shape of it. The inevitability of people choosing greed over loyalty. That's why she'd protected the house. Protected me. Outside, a neighbor waved. The same one who'd texted me weeks ago. I waved back. Life was moving forward. With or without my family. I chose without. The money started coming back in pieces. First, a wire transfer from my mother, $180,000. Her retirement account, emptied. Then Lauren's payments. Weekly installments because she didn't have it all at once. Each one smaller than the last as she sold off her recent purchases. Carter sent me updates. The watch went for $12,000. The designer bags brought in another $8,000. Her car, a lease she couldn't afford anymore, was returned to the dealership. I didn't spend any of it. Just watched the account grow, proof of what they'd tried to take. The neighborhood found out everything eventually. Small towns are like that. Someone always knows someone who knows someone. My mother stopped going to church. Too many questions from people she'd known for 30 years. My Aunt Linda's notary license was suspended pending investigation. She couldn't work. Couldn't pay her bills. Her daughter, my cousin, sent me one more message, "I hope you feel good about ruining people's lives." I didn't respond. Because I hadn't ruined anything. I'd simply refused to let them ruin mine. 3 weeks after the deadline, Lauren's social media came back online. One post. No photo. Sometimes you think you're doing the right thing and it all falls apart. Learned a hard lesson about trust. The comments were brutal. You mean you learned a lesson about theft? Trust? You stole from your own sister. Consequences finally caught up. She deleted the post within an hour. Then deleted her entire account. My mother tried one more time to reach me. Not through phone calls or texts, I'd blocked those. She sent a letter. Actual paper, actual stamp, delivered to my apartment. I almost threw it away without opening it. But something made me read it. "I know you won't forgive me. I don't expect you to. But I need you to understand that I thought I was helping. Lauren was struggling, really struggling, and I wanted to fix it. I thought you were strong enough to handle the loss. I thought you'd understand. I was wrong about everything. The house was never just a house. It was your connection to Mom. Your history. Your future. And I treated it like it was mine to give away. I don't expect you to answer this. I just needed you to know that I see what I did now. I see who I hurt. I'm sorry won't ever be enough. But I'm sorry anyway. Mom." I folded the letter and put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'd feel something when I read it. Sadness. Forgiveness. Something softer than this cold certainty that I'd made the right choice. But not today. Carter called that afternoon with news. The state declined to press criminal charges. Not enough evidence of intent, they said. Your family's cooperation helped. So they get away with it. They paid everything back, he reminded me. They lost money, credibility, relationships. That's not nothing. He was right. But it still felt incomplete. Justice shouldn't depend on someone's ability to pay restitution. It should stand on principle. Still, I had my house back. I had my grandmother's legacy. I had proof that being underestimated doesn't mean being defeated. That would have to be enough. The court documents became public record the following week. Anyone could look them up. See the filings. Read the accusations. Understand what happened. My family's names were attached to fraud forever. Some people would say that's cruel. I'd say it's documentation. I moved into the house on Willow Lane 2 months later. Not permanently. I still had my job in Connecticut. But weekends became mine. Friday evenings driving down, Sunday nights driving back. The neighbors got used to seeing my car in the driveway. I repainted the porch. Tore out the fake staging touches, those gray couches, those ridiculous decorative lemons. Brought back Grandma's furniture from storage. Her rocking chair went by the front window. Her quilt on the bed upstairs. Her recipe box in the kitchen. The house started feeling like itself again. One Saturday morning, I was scraping old paint from the porch railing, the same job I'd done a dozen summers before, when I found something wedged behind the wood trim. An envelope. Yellowed. Sealed. My name on the front in Grandma's handwriting. Inside, a letter dated 3 weeks before she died. If you're reading this, it means you found it. Took you long enough. I knew there'd be trouble after I was gone. Your mother loves you, but she's never understood you. And your sister, well. Some people see family as a safety net. Others see it as a resource to be used. I built this house with your grandfather 43 years ago. Raised your mother here. Watched you grow up on this porch. Every board, every room, every season, it all means something. That's why I protected it. Not because I didn't trust you. Because I didn't trust them. You're reading this, which means you fought for it. Good. Some people will tell you family forgives everything. That blood matters more than principle. Don't listen to them. Family is supposed to protect you. When it doesn't, you protect yourself. You did what you had to do. Don't feel guilty about it. The house is yours. What you do with it now, that's up to you. Keep it, sell it, burn it down for all I care. But whatever you choose, make sure it's your choice. Not theirs. Not anyone's but yours. I love you, kid. Always did. You were the one who listened. Grandma. I read it 3 times. Sitting on those porch steps, surrounded by paint chips and memories. She'd known. All of it. The betrayal that would come. The fight I'd have to wage. The choice I'd have to make between family loyalty and self-preservation. And she'd chosen me anyway. I folded the letter carefully and put it back in the envelope. That afternoon, I made a decision. I wasn't selling the house. Wasn't renting it out. This place, these walls, this porch, this maple tree, would stay in the family. My family. The one I'd build someday. Kids who'd drop helicopter seeds in the fall. Who'd help repaint this porch. Who'd hear stories about the grandmother who knew that protection sometimes looks like a legal trust and 48 hours of consequences. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I didn't recognize. This is Lauren. I know you won't respond. But I need to say this. What I did was wrong. Unforgivable. I spent 6 months planning to steal from you because I convinced myself I deserved it more. I didn't. I'm sorry doesn't cover it. But I am. I'm sorry. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it without responding. Because some apologies come too late. Some betrayals cut too deep. Some relationships don't survive the weight of what was done. And that's okay. I didn't need her apology to move forward. Didn't need my mother's guilt or my aunt's excuses. I had what mattered, the house. The truth. The knowledge that when people underestimate you, they give you the greatest weapon of all, surprise. The maple tree dropped a helicopter seat onto the porch. It spun lazily before landing near my feet. I picked it up and smiled. Grandma would have loved how this ended. Not with reconciliation or forgiveness. Not with family dinners and forced healing. But with me, standing on this porch, holding the deed to my inheritance. Some people get what they want by taking. Others get it by refusing to let go. I chose the latter. And I'd choose it again.